The 2022 NBA trade deadline is coming up, and I want to give you guys a full breakdown on everything we know. As of right now, we are hearing so many rumors about this trade, that trade, this superstar being moved. But for this video specifically, I want to talk about the most important and the most likely. Let's be real, as NBA fans, the NBA trade deadline is super exciting for us, and I'm gonna be honest, in this years, I believe a lot could happen. And after doing so much research, I want to share this information with everybody about a full breakdown of this season's. The NBA trade deadline this year is on February 10th, and we're almost there. And I simply want to say this, I want us to expect the unexpected. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So if you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. Just a quick shout out to my channel member of Baka Tier. Baka, thank you so much for supporting the channel and of course being an official ezGANG member. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the 2022 NBA trade deadline full breakdown. I have to start off this video talking about Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers, and right now, Ben Simmons is simply at the top of all trade rumors as there are so many conversations with what the Philadelphia 76ers want to do when it comes to a win right now mentality or a futuristic patience. As of right now, this is the biggest report that the consensus expectation is that the 76ers are likely to deal Ben Simmons by NBA trade deadline, and this report was reported by John Hollinger of The Athletic. John Hollinger says this, despite the Sixers' bluster to the contrary, the consensus opinion around the league remains that Philadelphia is more likely to act at the trade deadline than carry this all the way through till next summer, as to avoiding a punt year on Joel Embiid's prime. For those who don't know, Ben Simmons right now has yet to play a single game for the Philadelphia this year, and honestly, the Sixers are once again in playoff contention, and honestly, if fully healthy, they could make a pretty good run for it, and maybe this season they do want to trade Ben Simmons immediately to get an instant asset, as Ben Simmons still has a lot of value in the NBA. Another big report about Philly is that right now, if they're gonna trade Ben Simmons, they're thinking about potentially linking 76ers Tobias Harris with Ben in a potential trade package. They feel like if they add Tobias in the deal, it'll give them more of a likely chance to get a better all-star in return. And right now, the biggest all-star they're being linked to is James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets. Daryl Morey's preferred Ben Simmons trade scenario involves James Harden. Oh boy, imagine James Harden joining Joel Embiid. Quickly shifting towards James Harden and his future, as of right now, James Harden has been very vocal on saying he's frustrated with the organization of the Brooklyn Nets. And from what he is saying, he wants to explore opportunities outside of Brooklyn this summer, as he's going to be entering this summer with a player option, which we believe he's going to opt out of and become a UFA, an unrestricted free agent. From what it seems like, James Harden will not be traded during this year's NBA trade deadline, and then of course during the upcoming summer, that's when I do believe Philly will try their best. But of course, if the Philadelphia 76ers trade Ben Simmons during this year's NBA trade deadline, there's no chance they'll get James Harden this summer. So of course, it's just a matter of Daryl Morey deciding whether it's to wait and be patient on Ben for James Harden, or of course trade Ben now to of course help Joel Embiid for a championship run. Moving on, we're going to be talking about the Lakers, and they're the most popular team in the NBA right now. The NBA fans want to make a move. And of course, the player they should try to move is Russell Westbrook, the superstar they just got in this previous offseason. So far this season, the Lakers have definitely struggled and have not lived up to expectation, and a lot of the blame right now is being put towards Russell Westbrook. And as the deadline quickly approaches, I do believe a trade could potentially happen, and there's a high likely chance it will. We got a big time rumor that the Lakers explored a Russell Westbrook trade earlier this season, of course after the struggles began. But the problem with trading Russell Westbrook is that he's making $45 million this year. His contract is very expensive, and there's not a lot of room and interest around the league right now for Russ. The Lakers right now have so many players on their preferred list of players to join LeBron and Anthony Davis, but trading away Russell Westbrook will not get them those superstars. But we just got some news that the Lakers and the Rockets are having some multiple conversations that the Rockets may be willing to trade John Wall for Russell Westbrook and a 2027 first round pick. A John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade once again. What do you guys think about this? Do you believe this is a good idea for the Lakers? From what we're hearing so far though, the Lakers do not want to trade away Russell Westbrook and a first round pick. So from what it looks like right now, Russell Westbrook has a high chance of staying with the Lakers if of course the Lakers don't offer up that first round pick. It's just a matter if Rob Pelinka is willing to pull the plug. Staying on the topic of the Lakers, Talon Horton-Tucker, THT is also a very popular trade candidate, as this season, he has not lived up to expectation after signing a 3-year $30 million deal. Players like Malik Monk have stepped up even better, and even an undrafted Austin Reeves. And from what we're hearing right now, the Lakers have tried to trade away THT for multiple stars. When talking about trading THT, the Lakers are trying to target players like Ben Simmons, Jerami Grant, Miles Turner, and Harrison Barnes. But let's be real, these players are a lot better than THT. So what the Lakers have to hope for is the team they end up trading THT to values him as much as they do, as a young prospect with a lot of potential. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about Jerami Grant of the Pistons, and he right now is one of the most popular stars at the small forward and power forward position that could be on the move. A lot of teams are interested. This is the big rumor. The Lakers, the Knicks, the Blazers, and the Wizards are among teams that are interested in Jerami Grant. And with Jerami Grant right now under a very affordable $20 million contract, he has high interest around the league. Jerami Grant has expressed interest in leaving the Pistons and wants a contract extension wherever he goes. And with him over the past couple of seasons dropping about 20 points per game and improving as a two-way player, Jerami Grant is entering his prime with a lot of NBA value, and teams are pursuing him at a heavy rate. With Jerami Grant's size, athletic ability, and of course his all-around play, I do believe he'll be a valuable asset to any NBA team. And from what it sounds like right now, the Pistons are asking for a high price for him. They want a young player and a future first-round draft pick. And if I'm going to be honest, the Pistons could demand that because Jerami's that good. Expect Jerami Grant to play on a championship contender or simply a team where he believes he could get paid in the summer because he wants a contract extension of about $100 million. Moving on to the Houston Rockets. The Rockets seem to be in a rebuilding process once again, as they're putting John Wall, Eric Gordon, and even Christian Wood on the open trade market. Right now, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA, and their biggest trading assets have to be John Wall and Eric Gordon. They're veteran players under a long-term contract that of course are going to be expiring very soon. And right now, a lot of teams are having interest in John Wall and Eric Gordon. Both of these players are definitely out of their prime but can still contribute to a championship squad. And when talking about John Wall specifically, he's being linked to the Lakers, the Clippers, and even the Miami Heat. As of right now, John Wall has yet to play a single game for the Houston Rockets this season, and he seems to be fully healthy, so I do believe whether it's a buyout or a big-time trade, John Wall being 31 years old can contribute to a squad. He might not be the star point guard, but could simply be a backup point guard that can contribute at a high level. Ever since James Harden left the Rockets, they have been struggling a lot. So right now they have to be smart and trade away their valuable assets to get future assets to build around Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Indiana Pacers and talking about Domantas Sabonis being traded. Not just Sabonis, Miles Turner being traded, not just Miles Turner, even Karis LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon are becoming available. The Indiana Pacers have been vocal this season saying they're going to enter a full rebuild mode and start from scratch. And right now they're one of the most popular teams that NBA contenders are looking into to try to get their valuable assets to join the squad. When talking about Sabonis specifically, right now he's heavily being linked to the Washington Wizards, joining Bradley Beal. And honestly, I believe that's a perfect fit, as Sabonis is a very unselfish player and can let Bradley Beal lead and be the scoring punch, as Domantas Sabonis can simply be their big men. Because right now their bigs aren't that amazing of Montrez, Daniel Gafford, and Thomas Bryant. Sabonis would be a big time upgrade over these players. But if I'm gonna be real, Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers are their biggest trading piece right now. He's one of the best interior defenders in the league, one of the best shot blockers, and right now Miles Turner is having interest from the Lakers, even the Knicks, the Charlotte Hornets, and even the Toronto Raptors. With Miles Turner being on an $18 million contract, he's very affordable and teams are heavily interested in the shot blocking big. Expect a splash from the Indiana Pacers as they want to rebuild immediately. And the last breakdown I want to talk about is talking about the Portland Trail Blazers revolving Damian Lillard. NBA fans everywhere are waiting for something to happen, and this is the biggest report. NBA executives are waiting for the Blazers star to demand a move. We want to see if Damian Lillard will actually stay put in Portland as he's saying, or of course he believes it's time to move on. The Blazers this year have dealt with so many injuries and yet alone not even making a playoff push. And honestly, Dame has to start seeing that his future there isn't going to win him a championship. And then of course, as his loyalty speaks, we respect him for that. But we're going to love him even more if he actually wins a championship. And of course, we'll be more happy for him. So Damian Lillard, we want to see you do something during the NBA trade deadline. Demand a move. But if I'm gonna break down and be honest, I don't believe Damian Lillard will ever go that route. I believe he wants to stay in Portland and try to win there. So simply, Laker fans out there that want to see a move happen, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of unlikely. But yes guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about the 2022 NBA trade deadline breakdown and talking about the biggest and baddest rumors. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen during this year's NBA trade deadline? Did I miss any important information? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!